Right, hello guys, welcome to the channel. I've made it before, so if you've seen me make a spag bowl before, you don't need to watch this video. But if you're interested in knowing how I make my spaghetti bolognese, I'll show you now. This might be considered controversial, but I always use 20% fat. Reason being is because this is beef fat. This is all flavour. I don't put there's no oil or nothing in my pan whatsoever. I just put the mince straight in. This is 20%, it's beef fat. You know, this fat is all flavour. You know, I've got no oil. Sorry, I've just washed it, so it's the water coming out. I've got no oil in here whatsoever, and I'm not going to add any oil. I'm only going to put the minced beef in there. The fat will start to come out of the beef itself, so you don't need to add any. Obviously, wash your hands before you start messing with a beef. Depends on what you've been doing. Other ingredients going in here, we also have beef oxo, we have tomato puree, we have a tomato and chili? Yeah, tomato and chili pasta sauce. You can use normal pasta sauce. We have a tin of chopped tomatoes, and we have bouquet garni. I thought I'd show you in the jar first so you could see, because it is basically like a tea bag. There's all your herbs inside there, so you're going to put this in with the bolognese, so then you don't have no parsley or basil or any bits in you know, picking out your teeth while you're trying to eat your bolognese. How you do it is entirely up to you. If you want to use actual herbs, you can, but yeah, this is parsley, marjoram, thyme, rosemary and bay leaf, all inside this tea bag, which I like to use 2 of them. I like to use 2 tea bags in here. But the mince is starting to brown. One thing that triggers me when I see other people make spaghetti bolognese is when it comes to browning the mince. They like to say, oh, get a tablecloth and dub out all the oil, and it's like, that's all flavour, you know. And the reason why I don't like to use any oil is because I don't want to mix the beef fat with the oil, you know, because oil is no flavour. If you want to, you can add whatever you wish into this. You know, you can add mushrooms if you want. Occasionally I've added mushrooms. You can put onions in there if you want, but I don't have any onion, so I can't, unfortunately. I normally would put onions in here, but yeah, normally I do like to bulk it out. I do like to add mushrooms and onions to kind of stretch out the meal, to make it kind of go further. Well, since I'm using a beef oxo, I've got 2 beef oxo I'm putting in here. So if you want to make this exactly like I am, you can. If you have an onion, I would recommend dicing up an onion and putting it in here as well. the reason why I make it like this is it's just so simple and easy. It is just, like, yeah, it is. The main thing you've got to do is brown the mince. After you've browned your mince, you can just relax. Put all your ingredients in and just let it do its thing. You don't have to sit there and coming back and keep stirring it or anything like that. See, there is the mince starting to brown. That is all flavour in there. It's not just bland grease and oil. That is beef fat. Oh. So yeah, we are almost ready. There's still some pink bits in there, right there, right down there. But we're almost ready to do the next step. Right, now the mince is done, we're going to add our ingredients in. This is the easiest part. Just pour a whole tin of tomatoes in there. Put the whole jar of pasta sauce in there. Add an extra bit of water to clean the jar. You don't want to waste anything. Get your 2 bolognese in there. I'd say about 25% of a tube of tomato puree. You can put less if you wish. What you want to do is, before you open this, you want to squeeze this, because it is a solid block. So you want to crush it inside here. I don't know if you guys do that as well, but yeah, you squeeze it and you crush it inside the packet, and then you open it, and then you could just pour it in. You don't have to be crushed flat completely, but yeah. Right, there we go. Make sure the bolognese is in there. And then just give it a nice little stir. Make sure your heat is down to number 1 or number 2. You want to put this on a low heat. So you put all cold ingredients in, it's all gone cold again. You want to put it on a low temperature. If you're on electric, number 1 or number 2. If you're on gas, then minimum or just above minimum heat, and then that's it. All you have to do now is wait. Just wait. I'd say after about an hour and a half, come back and check on it. Give it a little taste, see what you're thinking. And yeah, the reason why I say give it an hour and a half, 2 hours, even up to 4 hours, is because you want that meat that's gone tough from being fried. You want it to soften again, to relax and not be so chewy and tough. I don't know if you've done the quick bolognese, and then wondered why it tastes so tough. That's why. Because when the beef is cooked, it's shrunk and, you know, clung tightly to itself. So once you slow cook it, it starts to relax in there, and then the meat becomes tender again. But yeah, that is what it looks like. You see a bit of oil around the edges? That is all beef fat. That is all flavour. That is going to coat your spaghetti lovely as well. So yeah, that is basically it. That is my simplified way of how I make my spaghetti bolognese. There's nothing to it. A child can make it. You know, it's so simple, so easy, so delicious. I'm gonna see you guys in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We'll see, cooking on a low heat. You don't have to put the lid on. You can leave it as it is like that, and it'll be fine. The reason why I put it in a pan like this is because if I put it, I don't have a saute pan anymore, and if I did put it in a saute pan, it will start spitting out everywhere. So you'd need to get like a guard, a spit guard or something. But yeah, in a pan like this, that's it. You could just relax, chill, and leave it. So I'll bring you back in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, so I can show you what it looks like now. Right, so it has just been over about an hour. Sorry about the background noise. I've got the TV on. I've been watching TV. Let me show you. I've not stirred it, mixed it, or anything at all. There it is. In there. Don't know if you can see, it's just starting to bubble. Yeah, gonna give it a little mix. Yeah, the bouquet garni looks weird, but yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah. Now everyone can see you. All right. Yeah. Just don't mind him. That is just, oh my god. Yeah, so it's gonna be a minimum of another hour. I'd say probably an hour and a half. It'll be done. Technically, you don't have to do it like this. You can mix all the ingredients together. Once it gets hot again, you can eat it. It's fine. But I like the meat to go soft. I like the flavours to infuse into the meat, and yeah, it to just taste 10 times better. So I would recommend you do leave it on a low heat for a good few hours. But you don't have to. You can always heat it. You can always heat it up and then eat it. So yeah, that's just a little mid cooking update. I will see you again in an hour and a half where we're going to start doing the pasta. Right, it has been another hour, or a little over an hour. I was going to do, first I was considering using this. These are giant pasta shells. And then I thought, let me make spaghetti. And I've kind of settled on having a linguine today. I've got my water boiling. Yeah, you put your water in, you do not cut it or snap it or anything. You use a big pot that you have for the water. You do not add any oil. You don't need to add any oil to the pasta. It triggers me when people put oil in the pasta. You know, even if it's olive oil or whatever you want to put in there. Yeah, it doesn't stick. Pasta doesn't... Oil don't stop the pasta from sticking. It doesn't. All you got to do is to stop the pasta from sticking is every couple minutes, or in the beginning, the first few minutes, come and give it a little stir. That is all. Let's add some salt before I forget. Yeah, just salt your water and that is it. If you add oil to your pasta water, it stops the, you know, whatever you're doing with it, whether it's bolognese, whether it's using just tomato puree or whatever, it stops it from sticking to the pasta, because the pasta is all oily. But yeah, this is basically it. I'm gonna thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.